I mean, and you had Schwarber, and I'm sorry, who was it? It was
Seager.
Right, Corey Seager, and then you had Dev with J-Ram and Soto. So, hey, man, I mean, let's see what happens. We're about to find out very shortly. So, before we do that, of course, you know what time it is. It's time to bring in the closer. And Jake, because of the Yankee hat and everything, he said he picked this just for me and because of Dev being the guest here today.
Yeah, had to honor the Yankees today. You know, it's All-Star weekend. I purposefully went and looked up who was the reliever with the most All-Star selections, and that was the main reason. But yes, as a secondary, yes, this is a Yankees podcast just for this week. So had to honor the best closer in Yankees history and also in baseball history. We've got Mariano Rivera, the Hall of Famer, coming in to close this All-Star podcast.
Unfortunately, we don't have rights to Enter Sandman. Otherwise, I'll be playing that right now.
Yes, thank you. That would be sick. Yeah, but he had an incredible career. It literally took me an hour, and I didn't even finish writing up this whole thing. I got his wiki pulled up just to mention a couple more things at the end. He had a 19-year career from 1995 to 2013, and it all came with the Yankees. He debuted in May of 1995 against the California Angels. They were California at the time, and he sucked. 3.1 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned, 3 walks, 5 Ks. Yes, he was a starter. What the heck? Mario Rivera was a starter? Yes, he was. Mo, which was his nickname for being called Mariano, he struggled as a starter in his first year. His first year completed with 67 innings with a 5.51 ERA and a 1.51 WHIP, and he started 10 of the 19 games he appeared in. He was converted to a relief pitcher late in the season and never started another game for the rest of his career. Pretty interesting start to the career. Definitely common among relief pitchers, closers on this podcast. He recorded his first save the following year in 1996, where he was working as the setup man to John Wetland. He tossed 107 innings, which would be the second most innings of his career. Actually, that's the most innings of his career as a setup. He had a 2.09 ERA and a 0.99 WHIP, where he struck out a career high 130 batters, which is the Yankees single season record for strikeouts by a relief pitcher. I don't know if that still stands. Still incredible. He finished 3rd in Cy Young and 12th in MVP, despite not making the All-Star team, and he racked up 5 Baseball Reference WAR, which has not been surpassed by a relief pitcher since then. Crazy. He also won his first World Series as the Yankees took home the trophy in 1996. The following year, he transitioned to being the closer full-time in New York, saved 43 games with a 1.88 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. He made the first All-Star appearance of his career. We're about to be saying that a lot. He finished 25th in MVP. This was the year that he also accidentally stumbled upon his signature cutter. The year before, he had miraculously gained 5 miles per hour on his fastball and stuff, just out of nowhere, coming back from an injury, rookie of the year type BS, where he just breaks his arm and then comes back throwing way harder. So yeah, he said that was an act of God. This one was just his fingers or something. He stumbled upon this cutter, and that would become his signature pitch and define the rest of his career. The following season, in 1998, he had a 1.91 ERA, saved 36 ball games. This was one of just 4 seasons, though, that he wasn't an All-Star after converting to the closer. But he did win his second World Series title with the Yankees in 98. In 99, he had a super memorable season, led the majors with 45 saves, had a 1.83 ERA and a 0.88 WHIP. He made his second All-Star team, finished 3rd in Cy Young, and had the 14th most points in MVP voting in the American League. He became the Sandman. He earned his nickname Sandman. Oh, thank you. Totally forgot about that. Appreciate that. He became the Sandman. That was his other nickname other than Mo, because the Scoreboard production staff selected Metallica's Enter Sandman as his entrance music in September of 1999. And so that literally became synonymous with his cutter. So it was Enter Sandman and his cutter. And that defines Mariano. He won his first Raleigh's Relief Man of the Year award that year, and he also won his freaking 3rd World Series title. He's been playing for 4 years now. He's got 3 World Series, and he earned World Series MVP this time around. The following year, 2000, 36 saves, 2.85 ERA, made his 3rd All-Star team, won his 4th World Series. Oh my God. Set the postseason saves record with 16. He would add and add and add to that for the rest of his career, and he set the record for the most consecutive scoreless innings pitched in the postseason with 33.1. Not sure if that still stands. He then signed a 4-year, $39.99 million extension prior to the 2001 season. during which he set the single season New York Yankees saves record with 50 saves, making him the 6th pitcher ever with 50 plus saves. He also made his 4th All-Star team, won his 2nd Raleigh's Relief Man of the Year award, and then moved on to just setting even more records. In 2002, he set the single season or the career Yankees save record at 225. Pretty sure he was going to add to that a little bit more, just a little bit. He saved 28 games that season, which would be his fewest until 2012 because he was dealing with a shoulder strain that year that landed him on the IL. He still made his 5th All-Star team nonetheless. He missed the first month of the next season as well with a groin strain. Forced him to miss out on the All-Star game, but he still had a 1.66 ERA and 40 saves regardless. And he that began a string of 4 straight seasons in which he had a sub-1 ERA. He also won ALCS MVP in the postseason. He then signed a 2-year extension with a 3rd-year option in 2004 that was worth $21 million. He led the majors with nice 69 games finished. A new Yankees single season saves record with 53, led the majors there as well, had a 1.94 ERA. He made his 6th All-Star team, finished 3rd in Cy Young and 9th in MVP. I think those were next year he set his best in those categories. He also finished 3rd, he won his 3rd Raleigh's Relief Man of the Year award, and he was the 18th pitcher with 300 plus saves after that season. We are now moving into the 2005 season, during which he was receiving boos from Yankees fans, and many people were like predicting that his career was coming to an end after he was like blowing saves to the Red Sox in the postseason in 2004, during which the Red Sox won, and then was doing the same at the beginning of the season. Red Sox fans, on the other hand, were cheering him, and I'm pretty sure he donned his cap, just like, shout out Red Sox fans, thank you for the cheers, I appreciate it, because I'm going to shut you down for the rest of the season. He literally had maybe his best season this year in 2005. He led the majors with 69 games finished, got 43 saves, had a 1.38 ERA and a 0.87 whip. Both of those marks were career bests for his entire career. Made his 7th All-Star team, finished 2nd in Cy Young and 9th in MVP. Those were the highest honors for him in those 2 categories. Won his 4th Raleigh's Relief Man of the Year, won the first ever Delivery Man of the Year award, and he moved into 5th all-time in career saves. He's still got so much more of his career left. I mean, you can imagine why this took me so long, because it was every single year just something else. Saved 34 games with a 1.80 ERA in 2006, moved into 4th place on the career saves list, made his 8th All-Star team, 26th MVP, and won his 2nd Delivery Man of the Year award. He didn't make the All-Star team in 2007, unfortunately, because he had an ERA over 3, but he saved 30 games and moved into 3rd on the all-time saves list. You can imagine where this ends up. He bounced back with an incredible 2008 season after signing a 3-year, $45 million deal that made him the highest paid reliever in MLB history. Came with a 1.40 ERA, 39 saves, his 9th All-Star team, and a 5th place finish in Cy Young voting as he moved into 2nd on the all-time saves list. 44 saves the next season in 2009 with a 1.76 ERA. His 10th All-Star team, double digits now, 14th in MVP voting, 5th Raleigh's Relief Award, 3rd Delivery Man of the Year award. He also won his 5th World Series. Oh my God, what a career by this guy. It is no wonder why his career gets capped off in the most fitting way possible. We got like 3 more seasons that he pitched in, 39 saves and a 1.80 ERA in 2010, made his 11th All-Star team, signed another deal, 2 years, $30 million to stay with the Yankees. Why didn't he just sign one for the whole time? Never pitched for another team. 44 saves in 2011, had a sub-2 ERA as well. Made his 12th All-Star team, 8th in Cy Young, and he took over as the all-time saves leader. He would later keep adding on to that. He had ACL surgery and missed most of 2012, which was
center field.
Yeah, people thought it was all over for him. But no, he returned. He won Comeback Player of the Year with 44 saves and a 2.11 ERA in 2013 before retiring. He made his 13th All-Star team, which set him apart as the only reliever, or the reliever with the most career saves. He was the final player to wear number 42, Jackie Robinson's retired number, and he just got so many career records. For his career, he had a 56.3 Baseball Reference WAR, 1,283.2 innings pitched, 2.21 ERA and a 1.00 whip, and that came with 652 saves, the most of all time. He has so many other honors. I don't want to miss anything because I just feel like people are going to like report us or something, just like, hey, these guys didn't mention all these things that he's done. And I think the most important one to mention, so I don't risk just like reading off the like 50,000 words that are on his Wikipedia page, is that he was the first Hall of Famer ever to be elected unanimously. Nobody voted no for him. Everyone had him on their ballot. He was completely deserving. He was literally unstoppable during his time, and he is the greatest closer of all time. You knew that he was going to close out one of these podcasts. This took 10 minutes to cover his entire career, and there was even some stuff that I had to leave out because there was just so much to talk about, and I've been talking way too much this podcast. It might as well just be my own podcast with a couple guests. But yeah, he is absolutely a legend. He will be remembered for a long time. But just want to hear if anybody has any final thoughts. They don't. Ooh, I like that one. Let's any final thoughts? Doesn't have to be about Mariano Rivera. I know we all want to go watch this home run derby. Probably won't start immediately at 5, so we've got a few minutes left. So if anybody wants to say anything final about this All-Star weekend, the first half, trade deadline, or if you just want to say how much you loved watching Mariano Rivera as a young Yankees fan, I'll shoot it to Dev as our resident guest for the day. Thanks again for showing up for this podcast. Sure. We appreciate it, Dev. Enjoyed having you on.
Yeah, this was a great time. I'm glad I got to be a part of this. I know we had a full cast of people. I'll take this 30 seconds before the home run derby starts to give you one more crazy Mariano Rivera stat. We mentioned before when he was a starting pitcher, not very good, allowed 11 home runs in his first big league season. Across the rest of his career, never gave up more than 7 home runs in a single season. So that first season was definitely questionable at best. Never happened again.
Man,
impressive.
You talk about childhood. I can't go there because we'll be here forever. But yeah, man, I cried when he walked off with Derek Jeter and Andy Pettitte. I don't care, man. I cried, man, because this was like the end of an era for me. And you saw him it was just pure passion. Like they don't make them like they do anymore in a way. Like you see him, just sitting on the bench at the end. And he's just looking into the into space. Like, man, like what a career I just had. Like that, it was such.
Is that what Cody Bellinger is doing?
No, he's not up too, but somewhere else. He's looking down. I hope he doesn't fall from up there. But yeah, man, really good job. And by the way, I had to say, there's been a lot of people watching. Like, Let's Talk Sports. They came to me. They said, "Hey, I just watched that baseball show. This was last week. They like." You guys been killing it. I mean, I know I haven't been on here as much. I feel like a special guest too. But hey, Jake and Davis, you guys have been absolutely smashing it, man. So
yeah.
Can't say nothing else. Like you got people coming to me talking about it. Like I don't even mention it. They're like, "Hey, when's that free baseball podcast?"
True. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun every week, and we've been just going 2 hours in like each of the last 3 podcasts. There's just so much to talk about in this time of the year, and you know me, I can't let anything go by the wayside. I want everybody to know how much I am paying attention to baseball. But Davis, let me hear your final thoughts before we send everybody home to go watch the home run derby.
Make sure you go watch the home run derby and watch Kyle Schwarber / Corey Seager win it.
Yes,
and David Bednar win All-Star Game MVP. Devin, do you want to plug your socials or anything? We typically do that at the end of the show.
Yes. So anybody can follow me over on Twitter over at Devin Withers TAH for The Athletes Hub. Also, make sure you're checking these guys out. I don't want to spend too much time on myself, but like Isaiah said, Davis and Jake, these 2 guys have been killing it. They've been consistent every single week. I'm watching these episodes every single week like an avid viewer. When you're not checking these guys out, you might have to check out me, Isaiah, and Gary tomorrow as we check out Deep from 3. We're going to be having our own little mini draft of the best starting lineups, but we're only going to be drafting guys that were taken number 1 in the NBA draft. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, David Robinson, Shaq will probably be in the mix as well. So that'll be a good time. And for all the content, just check out theathleteshub.org. We're constantly working and going towards something big.
He can wig it up Andrew. so yeah.
And, make sure you follow the Athletes Hub as well on Twitter. You can follow me at DVS Bird. I'm Davis Bird. You can follow Jake Crumpler, of course, at Jake Crumpler. Check out all of his stuff with Baseball HQ and with Pitcher List because he just makes baseball content, man.
Yeah,
dude breathes baseball, I swear.
Absolutely.
Like if he talks about baseball more, he might turn into a baseball. So read all of his stuff on all the sites, and definitely check out the Athletes Hub. Put out a bunch of great content. Of course, Devin Withers, the head honcho over there, sponsors our show. Right for him and stuff too. So
You know what's crazy? I met Jake once, right? He gave me a fist bump, and ever since then I could throw like a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. It's crazy. It's just insane.
It's like if you've seen Cedric's illegal pitches on TikTok, Jake taught Cedric all those illegal pitches. Yeah. So, where can they follow you, Isaiah?
You got Isaiah 2896. That's pretty much it everywhere. But you don't have to go there. You can just follow me at the Athletes Hub. You know where I'll be at.
Yep. All right. Well, tune in next week. We'll be back here on Monday covering the results of the All-Star game, the results of our drafts. We'll have another closer to bring in close out the podcast. There's tons to cover. It's nonstop. We're going to be going through the end of the season, through the off season. Stay tuned every Monday at 4 p.m. Usually today we had to go a little later to get both of our guests on. But yeah, thanks again for showing up. That is going to do it for the 24th episode of the Free Baseball Podcast.
Yeah.